You guys know that we right now live in an era where there's obviously an awful lot of comic book material being done, right? Like everybody's trying to develop comic book material. And even outside of the realms of DC and Marvel, there's a lot of these places that are trying to find, I don't want to say obscure, but smaller form comics to try to develop that. We've heard a lot of that. We are also seeing a big surge in production on video game material. Obviously one of the big ones is we got that Halo project coming. Maybe the most exciting one is the Last of Us one that we have coming. Arcane is now up on Netflix, which is now officially my all-time favorite animated show, which I wasn't even going to watch it. I didn't think it looked all that interesting, and it's now my number one all-time favorite animated show, which I'm super excited about and really excited to see season 2 when it finally comes around. But we shouldn't be then surprised that there is a lesser known comic book and a lesser known game that is now officially in development for a TV series, and that is the game and comic book called Battle Chasers. Now, for those of you who may not know much about Battle Chasers, it was a comic book developed like in the late 90s. And then in 2017, it was actually adapted into a video game. I think it was on the Nintendo Switch, if I'm not mistaken, maybe other platforms as well. And basically, I haven't played it myself, but I watched a bunch of videos on it, and it kind of looks like a cross between, and maybe some of you guys in the live chat, I'm already seeing that CJ Caps is saying that it is a great game. It looks like a kind of a blend between a Diablo and a Final Fantasy. And because it looks like it uses the Final Fantasy mechanics and it kind of has the Diablo layout. And yeah, it's a bunch of people now are saying that Battle Chasers is actually a really good game. So it shouldn't be too much of a surprise that a product like that doesn't belong to Marvel or DC is in the development stage for a TV series. Now, what's really interesting about that to me is that according to Deadline, Adam Iscariot, who, if you guys know my documentary, Movie Trailers, A Love Story, which is available now on Amazon. Just go on to Amazon and search for Movie Trailers, A Love Story. But one of the producers that appears in my documentary is Hitman producer Adrian Iscariot. He's also the one behind getting the new Johnny Quest movie up and running. So he's behind that as well. But according to Deadline right now, Adrian Iscariot is serving as the executive producer of the Battle Chaser show, which will feature visual effects from Zoic Studios. Kolstad had this to say about the following. We won't go into those comments. But again, we live in an era right now where this kind of content is not only being made, but this kind of shows that studios and producers are actively searching for existing IP that isn't already owned under the Warner Brothers DC label or under the Disney Marvel label. And I think this is just the beginning. I think in the coming year and a half or so, I think we're going to see an explosion of production companies and studios trying to identify and gather up these smaller, lesser known titles, both from comics and from video games, to try to develop them and package them to bring to the market. Because right now we're seeing a surge in that kind of stuff. And I think this could be very interesting. Anyway, guys, the question is for you. What do you think about this? The idea that Battle Chasers is being developed as a TV series. Are you familiar with the comic or the game? A bunch of you guys in the live chat are already familiar with the game. Do you think this will translate well into a series? Whatever you guys are feeling, jump down into the comments section below and let us know your thoughts.